This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. A Native chef helped organize deliveries to elders amid COVID-19 in the Minneapolis area, but that was stalled due to unrest in the city, as Rhonda Lavaldo reports.
With the stay-at-home orders in place in Minneapolis, many Native elders relied on Brian Yazzie, Navajo, to get daily fresh meals. But then with the death of George Floyd and riots that took place, that daily meal had to stop for 2 weeks.
So we end up switching our daily meals to serving grocery bags twice a week. So we have detergent, we have bar soap, we have shampoo, hygiene products, we have face masks, and then non-perishable items like canned beans, canned vegetables, and some frozen meat that we also put into the grocery bags.
Vanessa Casillas, Ho-Chunk, and a volunteer, said her previous job experience helped figure out when they couldn't do daily meals and shifted to grocery distributions.
My background is actually in construction, so I'm used to working on a job site. I'm used to things always changing, and you have to adapt and flow with it. So this really isn't too far out of, yes, I've never lived through a pandemic before, and I would say no riots either. So those two things, really, we just had to become fluid and adapt.
Head chef of the Minneapolis American Indian Center, Ben Shendo, James Cochity, talked about how their role is mainly to get food to elders who may not see anyone during the day.
But we know during that lunchtime, when they open the box, they got something that can, really bring them joy. And some of the stuff that you can see has been donated, also has been going with them. Crossword puzzle, hygiene kits, coloring, just stuff to kind of keep the morale up. And some of these elders who came to the center and the others that we're feeding, some of them are living by themselves. Some of them don't have, too much interaction. Maybe coming here to the center was it. So that also makes me think a lot, that extra love, extra care.
The daily meals that go out, as Yazzie explained, are 50% indigenous items to provide comfort food for those Native elders. This is Rhonda Lavaldo for National Native News.
The Rosebud Sioux Tribe in South Dakota wants to create the largest Native American-owned and managed bison herd in North America. Seth Tupper of South Dakota Public Broadcasting has more.
Wizipon Little Elk has a big vision for bison on the Rosebud Reservation. He wants to build a herd of 1,500 animals and a processing facility to provide food and economic development for tribal members. He says now is a perfect time for the project. The COVID-19 outbreaks at packing plants and meat shortages in stores have consumers looking for different ways to get their food.
I think that what has happened with the coronavirus pandemic is that the world has told us that our work is not only important, but that it is urgent.
Little Elk is CEO of the Rosebud Economic Development Corporation. With help from the World Wildlife Fund, the corporation plans to convert cattle pastures on the reservation to a bison range of 40 square miles. The Development Corporation will get excess bison from the Interior Department, which manages a number of herds, including those in national parks. Little Elk says the grass-fed bison will be killed and slaughtered humanely.
Basically what that means is treating buffalo like buffalo and not treating them like cattle.
First, they'll replace cattle fences with bigger, sturdier fences for bison. The first animals are scheduled for delivery this fall. For National Native News, I'm Seth Tupper in Rapid City, South Dakota.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
For Native Americans affected by domestic violence, the Strong Hearts Native Helpline offers peer-to-peer support and resources. It's safe, confidential, and toll-free at 844-7-NATIVE. Program support by the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. Support by BNSF Railway, moving our economy for over 165 years. Our vision is to operate injury and accident-free with safety programs, training, and technology. More at bnsf.com/tribal relations.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.